Good evening everybody, welcome to Race Spec Esports. We are doing the Sprint Cup tonight, round 7 at the Shanghai circuit in China. Quite a challenging circuit, the Shanghai circuit. Lots of corners where things can go horribly wrong. Turn 1 and 2 being some key examples where things can go horribly wrong on lap 1. Also turns 11, 12 and 13 with the bank curve curbing to come onto the long back straight. Plenty of overtaking opportunities on the circuit as well, particularly you know, you can get overtakes done going through turn 1s, 2 and 3. Also obviously at the ends of the two straights, at the long back straight obviously, and then the shorter straight between turns 10 and 11. Alright, we'll get going. Session will be starting very shortly. Not a huge grid tonight. Looks like we're a few drivers short, but that's okay. 15 out to race tonight, so there'll be a lot more room on the track, I guess, for clean air, for people to get some good laps in for qualifying. Looks like nobody's in an overly great hurry to get out on track. Looks like we've got a couple of new faces on the grid tonight. Iceman F107. Must be a Kimi Raikkonen fan, judging by that name, and Strike Force 70. So it'll be interesting to see how the new guys fare in this competition. Looks like we've finally got somebody coming out on track. Find out who that is. There we go. Leo is a weirdo out on track. It's a nice striking livery he's got there, sort of a green and goldish look to it. Probably looks more like an avocado, maybe. The outside of an avocado and the inside of an avocado. So it looks like The Rock's going to try qualifying on the mediums to start with. But we're right on board with Leo. Leo, as I mentioned in previous weeks, one of the fastest drivers on the grid. Last week he won both races. Scenario there with the revving of the engine. So coming through the final corner now to get started on his first flying lap, can easily invalidate your lap running wide there or cutting the corner on the inside. DRS wide open as you come down the straight into the turns 1, 2 and 3. Quite treacherous in the wet, this section of the track, but it looks like we're going to have dry qualifying at the very least. Coming through the windy section, oh, he's lost the back end of the car. Quite easy to do that through that section if the tyres aren't quite warm enough and you're pushing just a little bit too hard. That can definitely happen through that section of the circuit. So Leo back out of this one, try and go again. Right on board with somebody else. Let's have a look. Gran P. see what Ramp can do. He's gotten through that section that Leo had to spin in. Coming onto the short straight. Definitely get an overtake done going into this corner. You don't want to apply too much throttle coming out of that corner, and just gently applying the throttle at a consistent pace as you come through the banked corner there. DRS open. This is your best opportunity for getting an overtake done into this hairpin turn. Might be a little bit close to the car in front. We'll see how it goes. Keeps it within the track limits. And crosses the line. This is 142.36. So about 4/10 off of the time Tinselman has set. Right over with Cuda for a second. Will be the next car to cross the line. Cuda's starting their flying lap now. Alright, we're right on board with Cuda for their flying lap. Not sure why it wasn't showing that they were on the outlap then, but clearly they were. So coming through successfully through the first few turns. A little short straight there. Can get an overtake done into that corner if you time it well. Get a good exit out of the turn 4. You can generally get an overtake done through there. It's not completely straight all the way through, but you're pretty much foot to the floor all the way through. Onto the short back straight. DRS detection zone for the back straights quite early in this section. Coming through the bank curb. Come flying down the main straight here, hit the DRS zone, open up DRS. Heavy brake into the hairpin. Nice, try and get nice and tight there. Straighten the car up, get down, back down the car into the straight. And Cuda sets a 1:33.1, so about 1.5 seconds off the pace. It looks like RP's already out. I'm not sure what happened there. I missed that. Right on board with He's going to the pits. Let's have a look, see who else is there. Looks like Leo's having another go. It might be over one lap. I really wish the game would give some indication when you're spectating as to what the car's doing. Yeah, he's going to be looks like Close is getting ready to have a go at a flying lap, or has already done his flying lap. Let's see if anybody else is out. Goodwill's out, so let's have a look. So Goodwill might be about to set a time. If they're about to set a time, it's not going to be overly quick. That's another pit. Looks like speeding as well. Alright, let's have a look, see who's Chronic Saint hasn't set a time yet, so let's ride on board with Chronic Saint on their outlap at the minute. Quite likely livery that Chronic Saint's running here. It's quite a nice livery. Looks like a pineapple. Right, so Chronic Saint's about to start flying lap. Coming through turns 1 and 2. Down into turn 3 and 4. And get the power down, like I said. Get the power down through this section. You can pretty much just full throttle until you come into this braking zone. So it is a good opportunity for an overtake. Obviously, making sure that you get decent overlap before you try and pull that off. Don't dive bomb into that corner; it will end in disaster. So coming through the little windy section there, it is very easy to lose the car there, as I saw earlier with Leo. I've done it myself many times. Very easy to lose the back end of the car through that turn as well if you get the power on a bit too early. As you're coming through that bank curve I mentioned earlier, you've got to throttle on very, very carefully. I guess if you're using traction control, probably less of a concern, but if you are running without traction control, you definitely want to keep your throttle application So Chronic Saint managed to set a 1:32.0. This is a bit over 5/10 off the fastest time set by Tintelman. Let's have a look, see who else is. Yeah, Scotty looked like he was going to have another crack at it there. But looks like he backed out of it, perhaps. So let's ride on board with Scotty as he tries to have another go at this. And Leo's set a new fastest time, a 1:31.0. So now a full second faster than the time that Chronic Saint set when we were riding on board with Chronic Saint. Alright, coming down the short straight there. It's got a fast car behind. Looks like Leo catching up to Scotty there as he's I would assume Leo's on an in lap, or he might be having a second crack at it. So Scotty's coming across the line and sets a 1:31.8. So still nearly 8/10 slower than Leo. We have a flag in sector 3. Is that just a car getting out the way? Yeah, I'd imagine so. All right, who else is out? So Buster T16 is out on track. So it looks like Buster might be looking to set a fresh time. So we're right on board with Buster. So he's 3 1,000ths up on his previous time. We'll see what time he posts coming through Sector 2. As I said, very easy to lose your car through this section. You catch a bit too much of the curb the wrong way. And yeah, it can end in disaster. I've put myself into the wall several times on that section of the track. So three tenths up. So it's going to be a fair improvement for Buster, I think, here, but probably not enough to put him too much further up the order. So let's see how much Buster improves by. So improves by a bit over 4.5 tenths. So it moves him up to P6. Push the unlucky RMP down a spot or two. So we've got cars on there, I would imagine, on their final runs now. Let's see if anybody's... Looks like Iceman's on a flyer. So right on board. See if Iceman can improve on his previous time. It looks like he's backed out of it. So we'll see. Plebs is on a flyer now, but it looks he's lost the back end there. Like I said, well, not that section actually. I mean, it is possible to lose the back end as you go through there if you get the power on too quickly. So not sure if the car behind him's on a flyer. If he is, I think he's just gotten in the way of him there. So that'll be a bit annoying for the honest crook, who's obviously had to back out of his flying lap. Oh no, he's on an out lap, so that's probably okay. Alright, Leo looks like he's on his final flying lap, so we'll see whether or not Leo can improve his time at all. Like I've said previously, Leo is rapidly quick now. It looks like he's decided to back out of it. Alright, let's have a look. See, where's the Tinsel Man coming through? So this will be Tinsel Man's last opportunity to try and get one over Leo. He's going to have to make up 5 tenths. It's going to be a big ask. Big ask. Well, let's see how he goes. So Kavuti's already across the line. The Rock's across the line. Chronic Saint's still out there. Strike Force 70 and Honest Crook. And Tinselman did improve, but not by anywhere near enough. So Scotty's coming through. Let's have a look, see who's the Strike Force comes across the line. Yeah, it doesn't improve. And Chronic Saint just improved a little bit. Okay, Scotty's coming through now. Set his final time. See if he improves by... So he did improve by 3.5 tenths. The Rock coming through. Improves by 2 tenths but stays where they were. Tinterman looks like he's going to be coming back to the pits. So Strike Force, I imagine, is finished. Honest Crook looks like he's finished. And Chronic Saint looks like he's finished. Yeah. So looks like we're all done. Just waiting for all the drivers to cross the line. So no surprise, Leo's put it on pole again. Tinselman in second. Scotty is in third. And we'll cover the rest momentarily when we get to the screen. So Plev's in fourth, Cavuti fifth, The Rock sixth, Chronic Saint in seventh, Buster in eighth, Honest Crook in ninth, RMP, who crashed out early, has managed to stay 10th. Iceman in his first appearance in this competition, 11th, Kuda in 12th, Snickersbud 13th, Goodwill in 14th, and Strike Force 70 on their first attempt at this competition, coming in at 15th, 2.5 seconds behind the fastest car. So probably a lot of work there for Strike Force 70 to do to make their way forward, but it should be interesting to see what can be done. So looks like we're gonna have a dry race. Would be far more interesting if it was wet, but I guess we'll see what happens in the second race for those who haven't watched before. So the Sprint Cup is two races, 25% each. The first race set by qualifying, and the second race is a reverse grid scenario. Always spices things up a little bit when you put the faster drivers behind some of the slower drivers. Alright, let's get this all set up. So we're looking at soft medium lap 4 to 7 and soft hard lap 5 to 7. To be honest, can't imagine anybody doing the soft hard strategy. Not for a 25% race. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You can definitely, the soft medium works. You can make that work, or medium soft if you happen to start on the soft tyres, medium tyres. So it looks like Snickersbud and Goodwill have both gone for the medium soft strategy, having started outside the top 10. Iceman and Cuda obviously got a little bit close to each other and have disqualified themselves from the warm-up lap. Always baffles me to see that. I don't know how you can't just keep your distance. It's really not that difficult. So I guess they'll be starting on the grid with relatively cold tyres, so that could be interesting to see what happens there. So Leo's leading the pack around at a relatively reasonable pace. It's not too slow. So the grid will start forming up, and then I guess we'll get racing. So there's the two cars that got disqualified sitting on the grid, just waiting for everybody else. Alright, just wait for the grid to form up now. And very shortly we'll get the lights. So 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we're racing. So it looks like Tinselman gets a reasonably good getaway there as they come down to turn 1 on the inside. He'll take the advantage going into turn 2. If he can hold on to that, he'll have the advantage going into turn 3. But it looks like Leo's held his position quite well there and takes the lead. So Tinselman right on his tailpipe. Looks at the move on the inside but decides to not take it. We'll see cars battling for position back through the pack as they come through these early sections. Oh, we've had a spinner. We've had a spinner. Cavuti's gone off. And looks like Snickers Bud's gone off as well. So I'm not sure if they've had it coming together or what's happened there. I'm just having a look to see if there's any damage. It doesn't look like Snickers Bud's taken any damage. It also doesn't look like Cavuti's taken any damage either, but that doesn't mean that... oh, tyres are lit up though, so that's going to cause a bit of an issue. Alright, back at the front, Leo's starting to pull a bit of a gap. We've got Plev sitting on the back of Tinselman, putting a bit of pressure on now. Obviously Tinselman will want to make sure that that he stays well within DRS when we get around for the start of the next lap on Leo, otherwise he'll be a sitting duck for the cars behind him. So Iceman is battling there with Cuda. We'll see how that develops as the race goes on. So Honest Crook's gone into the pits. So I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like he's taken wing damage at some point. So it must have been very minor wing damage. But wing damage all the same. Alright, Sector 2. We've got some action in Sector 2. Who was that going off? So somebody went off in Sector 2. She might have been Strike Force. Alright. So Leo's pulled out a 1.7 gap already. 1.8, jeez. So Tinselman's going to be in strife here as soon as DRS opens up. As Plevs certainly won't need a second invitation to take the position. And it looks like Plevs is definitely holding onto his battery charge, so he's definitely going to have the power. Tinselman looks like he's using quite a lot to just to hold position where he is at the moment. So Strike Force is in the pits as well. I'm assuming that's a wing change as well. The gap's out to, geez, nearly 2.5 seconds now to Leo, so it looks like Tinselman's losing time while trying to fight to stay ahead of Plevs. Scotty's obviously on Plev's tail as well. And the Rock Buster, it's quite close until we get back to Iceman, where there's a bit of a gap forming with the cars at the back. So this looks like where the battle is at the moment. Looks like Plevs is going to get the overtake done easily on Tinselman going into the hairpin. Yeah, and that was easy done there. Tinselman might have a look back at him going into turn 1. We'll see what happens there. He's definitely got the DRS. Whether he's got the ERS charge to hold the position. Giving each other plenty of space there. If he can hang it around the outside and hold it there, he'll have the inside line going into turn 4. A little bit of a touch there. It looks like Plevs has managed to hold on to the position. Has a look up the inside. They get a little bit close there, giving each other plenty of space. It looks like Tinselman will hold fire for a minute and see if he can have another crack when we come onto the back straight. Potentially, if he had the ERS, he could potentially try for an overtake on this straight, but doesn't really have the ERS build up to take advantage of that. Alright, so he will get DRS. Absolutely burn out all his ERS to try and get this overtake done, but Plevs has got so much ERS in the tank that I just don't think there's going to be the opportunity. I think Tinselman's going to have to bide his time, just try and stay in the DRS and build up his ERS again. So let's have a look. See, Tinselman's decided to pit early, looking for the undercut. So let's see how that works out for him. All right, let's have a look and see how we. Oops, wrong one. Have a look at position changes. Let's see who's done well here so far. So Kuda's managed to pull up 8 places. Now there are cars pitting at the minute, so that's probably not representative of actual gain. Iceman's picked up 6 places. Snickersbud's picked up 7. Biggest loser is Kavudi, who's gone from 5th down to 15th. So we're right on board with Kuda for a minute, who's on the tail of the Rock. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not either of these try to go for the undercut as well. So Tinselman's come out, 8-second gap to Snickersbud, so he's got plenty of free air. So Kuda's going to get the overtake done here, I would imagine. Well, the Rock's fighting it pretty hard, but he doesn't have a lot of ERS left, so looks like Kuda's going to get the overtake done. I think the Rock was always going to struggle there with the ERS that he had. Oh, he's gone into the pits. He's aiming for the undercut. So we'll see how that works out. Leo's now pitted, Plevs is now pitted, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not. Right on board with Tinselman. Let's see whether or not he's managed to get the undercut and jump back in front of Plevs. And it looks like he's actually done it quite easily. Did Plevs maybe get held in the pits there? Yeah, Plevs might have got held in the pits. So that's yeah, that's not gone well for Plevs. He's yeah, he's lost out big time there. That's unfortunate, but it can happen when everybody pits on the same lap. Sometimes you can get stuck there in the pits while you wait for all the cars to go past. You know, depending on where you are in the pit lane. You know, if you're right in the middle, you get all the cars going past to have pitted in the boxes before you, and then you potentially get stuck waiting for cars going past to drop into the boxes in front of you as well. So, alright, let's have a look. So Plevs is chasing down the Rock now. So this is for position. Kuda's now pitting. I imagine Snickers Butt will pit as well very shortly. So we'll get a better representation of what position changes we've actually seen. So Plevs gets the overtake done easily on the Rock there. Plenty of ERS, whereas the Rock's not really got a lot. So Leo very shortly will probably take the lead from Snickers Bud on track. So Snickers Bud on those slightly older medium tyres will probably struggle to hold off Leo given the lack of ERS, and Leo seems to manage his ERS deployment very, very well. So he's just holding fire for the minute. Just wait for the opportunity on the straight to get the overtake done. Or up the inside. Oh, he had a squiggly moment there, but he's gotten the overtake done easily there. I don't think Snickers Butt will have anything to fight that back. So now Kuda's just picked up a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So Snickers Butt hasn't pitted yet. They'll be coming around shortly. Imagine Snickers Butt will pit. So Plevs is chasing down Kuda at the moment. There's definitely a lot of gaps have formed in between. Tinselman's looks like Snickers Butt staying out again. He's definitely going to lose positions here, I guess, but Tinselman doesn't have a lot of ERS either, so... But it does look like he's going to get the overtake done, which he has quite easily. So I imagine Snickers Butt will probably want to consider pitting very, very soon. Otherwise he's going to lose out to Scotty behind him as well. So Plevs is now right on the tail of Kuda. So again, this is for track position. I think everybody's pitted now, except for Snickers Butt and Goodwill. So this is definitely for track position. I imagine Plevs will be jumping at the bit to get past as many cars as possible to recover positions lost. He had a bit of a look there. Thought better of it. Wait until you get onto the back straight where it'll be a much easier overtake. That Kuda's got plenty of ERS, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not Plevs can get the overtake done. Kuda's gone for the defensive move on the inside. They're going to go side by side through the hairpin. Maybe a little bit of a touch there as they went through, but looks like Plevs is going to have the inside line going into the final turn. But Kuda's got the DRS, but then Plebs has got the DRS on Buster as well. So it looks like Snickers Bud's finally pitted. Have they? No, maybe not. No, Snickers Bud's still not pitted. So Plebs is now chasing down Buster. Buster, who's... And Kavuti's just picked up a 3-second warning. Oh, Buster's had a spin. Oh, no. Oh, unlucky there. Oh, there's a... Oh, the rock's just gone into the back of Plebs several times there. I'm not sure what's going on. What's happened there? Has the rock taken any damage? No, no damage to the car. I'm not sure what happened there. That's unfortunate for Buster. He's lost out several spots there. So Plebs will now need to try and get back into Kuda's DRS. He's chewing up his ERS to try and get there. And that's going to be the challenge. It looks like Kuda's got a reasonable amount of... Oh no, he's nearly lost the back end there. So Plebs is back in DRS. He'll just want to stay there and rebuild his... Snickers Bud's finally pitting. So it'll be interesting to see where Snickers Bud finally comes out. He will certainly be on the faster tyre towards the end of the race. So Leo's got a massive 5.5 second lead out the front there. Tinselman's keeping Scotty at bay. So really the main action on the track here seems to be with the battle here between Plebs and Kuda. So we'll stick with these guys. We've got 4 laps to go. So see whether or not Plebs will probably just sit in behind, wait until we're on the back straight. Kuda's got plenty of ERS to fight though. Plebs is probably going to have to, if he wants to get the overtake done here, he's going to have to use it all to catch. But he might just sit behind him. Or is he he's going to make the overtake? He is going to try and make the overtake going into the hairpin. He's got it done. Kuda's going to try and switch back. They're going to go side by side through the final turn. No, Kuda's backed out of it, but we'll have DRS going down the main straight. So should be able to get the overtake done going into turn 1. So Plebs is going to have to sit back inside. Behind him and wait for another opportunity to get an overtake done. So it looks like the Iceman's catching up to the Rock. They seem to be rocking similar liveries here. So let's see, Iceman's not got a lot of ERS, so that might be a bit of a challenge. But we'll keep an eye on that one and see if that gets any closer. So Plebs, still not a lot of ERS building up there. Kuda's still got a lot more, so we'll see if Plebs just sits in behind for... Oh no, Kuda's lost it going through the bank curb. Must have got the power down a bit too early there. Has lost the back end and spun out. Ah, that's unfortunate. So Iceman and Rock, they're going battling for positions here now. So this is going to be the most exciting action on track, I think. Now that Kuda's had their spin, has dropped behind these two. So Plebs will have plenty of clean air to run in now. See if he can pull back the time to Scotty and maybe still get a podium finish. So the Rock is trying to go around the outside. Looks like he's going to get that overtake done. Sorry, Iceman's. It's hard to work this out. These two cars have got identical liveries. So the Rock's got 30% ERS. Iceman's not got a lot on board, so we'll see whether the Rock just sits in behind and builds up the ERS. They are on the same tyres, I think. They are on the same tyres, same age. The Rock's just dropped out of DRS now, which is going to bring Cuda back into the battle. Strike Force 70's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Let's have a look at how the penalties are going. So it's only 3-second penalties at the moment, so looks like Cuda's going to get the overtake done easily on the Rock there. There was a bit of contact there as they came through the corner, but Cuda's gotten that overtake done, so Cuda will be trying to chase down the Iceman. A bit of battle here between Scotty and Tinselman. Tinselman's managed to pull back that gap to Scotty, or the other way around. Scotty's pulled the gap back to Tinselman. Scotty's got plenty of, enough ERS to hold him at bay, I would imagine. So the challenge for Tinselman here is going to be holding on to third place. So we want to try and stay in DRS and rebuild his ERS to have another go. So it looks like the Rock's struggling back here now. Looks like maybe worn tyres pushed him too hard too early. RMP's looking like they're going to have a crack going into the corner. No, he's had a think about it, had a look, decided no, too risky. Wait until we get onto the back straight. RMP's got reasonable ERS. Oh, the Rock's run wide there, and that's given RMP the advantage now. Was that a deliberate tactic by the Rock there? Was he? No, because he wouldn't have had DRS. So it looks like he's lost out that position to RMP. We'll come back to watch Tinselman and Scotty. They're quite close. I imagine the Rock will probably continue to drop positions. So Tinselman's hanging on to the back of Scotty. It looks like he's using a fair amount of ERS to stay there though. So gap back to Plebs now down to 3.4 seconds. And as you can see, the gap between RMP and the Rock is starting to blow out. So I reckon the Rock will be in danger of Chronic Saint catching them very, very soon. So Tinselman's using his ERS there. Not sure that's necessarily a great idea. I'd be hanging on to it until you get onto the back straight at the very least. He's going to get DRS, but is he going to have enough ERS to pull off the overtake? Yeah, it doesn't look like it. He's probably using up way too much. Looks like he's backed out of it. Has he got a problem? He's run out of fuel. Oh, he's run out of fuel in the last lap. Oh no. Oh, that's disastrous. I think he's hit low fuel mode. Oh, that is unfortunate. Lost the podium to Plebs there. That's unfortunate. So I guess Leo gets the win. Scotty in second, and Plebs after that unfortunate pit lane issue of getting held has managed to put it on the podium. Fortuitously, because Tinselman hit low fuel mode going into the final section of the track there, through the hairpin bend, and that's really unfortunate. Filling out the rest of the top 10, Iceman, Buster T16, RMP, Cuda, The Rock F1, and Chronic Saint. So The Rock managed to hold on to 9th. Chronic Saint didn't catch him. 11th, Snickerspard, 12th, Honest Crook, 13th, Kavudi, 14th, Goodwill, and Strike Force finished where they started in 15th. So it's becoming a familiar sight seeing Leo up there on the podium, top 7 of the podium. Well, that was an interesting race. I guess Cuda, unfortunately, having that spin dropped them down to 8th. Was having a reasonably good race and battle there with Plebs up until that point. And unfortunately, having the 3-second time penalty didn't help. No surprise, Leo picked up fastest lap as well. And I guess we'll take a short break while the grid gets sorted out for the next race, and we'll be back with race 2 with our reverse grid. It'll be interesting to see whether Leo can do his usual piece of taking it from 10th to 1st. We'll be back shortly. Alright, back for race 2. So reverse grid for this one. We seem to have lost a couple of drivers from the first race, so we're down to 13. I'm not sure what's happened there. I'm not sure whether they didn't realise that it was a 2-race format. But 13 drivers is what we have. I guess much less chance of safety cars. It'll be interesting to see whether anybody's learnt a lesson from the first race around fuel management, to see whether or not everyone manages to get to the finish line in this race without hitting low fuel mode. So we'll get started in about 15 seconds. Alright. Warm up lap. So strike force 70s on pole. So it'll be a bit of an experience, I guess. First race in this particular competition from pole. Obviously finishing last in the previous race. Goodwill on the front row with him. Kavudi and Honest Crook on the second row. Obviously Leo is going to be on the back row on his own, with 13 drivers on the grid. So soft, medium, soft, hard. Again, not sure why anybody would consider the hard. It'll also be interesting to see whether or not well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 starters on mediums, one of them being Leo. That's probably not overly surprising, I guess, given that he'll be starting from the back, so we'll want to be on the faster tyre at the end to pick up as many positions as possible. With Leo being Leo, I imagine that it won't really matter too much whether he's on mediums or softs. He's that rapid anyway, so we'll likely catch and pass cars ahead. Scotty and Plevs obviously also quick drivers, as is Tinselman, so I imagine on the softer tyres they'll be looking to try and make their way through the pack as quickly as they can to obviously keep Leo behind them for as long as possible. But obviously Leo is going to be able to go a bit deeper into the race on those medium tyres, and will then be on the faster softs to try and catch Plevs and Scotty at the end of the race. So we'll see whether he manages to do that this week. So no disqualifications on the warm-up lap this time round. Final cars are coming into position on the grid. We should get going very, very shortly. One light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're racing. So Strike Forces managed to keep in front going into turn 1. Goodwill's holding on to second, but has the challenge of Kavudi on the inside, who's going to try and get through. They're still battling going through. Oh, a bit of wheel banging there as they're coming through the corner. Looks like Kavudi's going to get that position. Goodwill's run a little bit wide. That's opened up an opportunity for the Rock, who's going to go around the outside. And it looks like Goodwill's spun out off on the curb. That's unfortunate. So Leo has already managed to jump Plebs and Scotty. It's amazing work at the start of the race. Scotty and Plebs side by side there. Honest Crook looking up the inside of, or was it Iceman looking up the inside of Scotty, and we've had another spinner. Who's that back there? Is that Chronic Saint? Yeah, Chronic Saint's had a spin. Alright, Buster is right alongside Plebs. And Honest Crook is trying to get up the inside of Buster as well. Oh, somebody's taking wing damage there. Looks like Honest Crook's binned it. What's happened there? See if we can see his car. It's in the wall. Not sure what happened there. It looks like he may have hit the back end. So, we've got a virtual safety car. I did say a full safety car was probably unlikely. I guess this is going to work out reasonably well for Chronic Saint. We'll probably be able to catch back up to the back of the grid, potentially. So, Strike Force has dropped down to 5th. Let's have a look. We got, oh no, Strike Force, Buster and Iceman have all picked up drive-through penalties. That's pretty much ruined their races. Unless they can unless there's another safety car, a virtual safety car, that's pretty much race over for those guys, because they're going to have to come in and do a slow drive through the pits. So Leo on the tail of Tinselman. Both got a reasonable amount of ERS to use. Looks like Scotty's on the tail of Buster as well. So that's looking like the closest battle there, other than Chronic and Strike Force. So it looks like Chronic's caught back up to the back of the pack and managed to get past Strike Force quite easily down the back straight there. So Leo's hanging on to the back of Tinselman. I imagine he'll just sit there patiently, bide his time, get the overtake done in the DRS zone down the back straight. Fourth gear through that corner. It's an interesting gear to choose to go through there, revving the engine quite high. Gentle on the throttle as you go through this section of the track, and then get the power down. It's probably a bit too far back. Rock's looking at Kavudi as well, so we've got a couple of battles here going on at the front of the grid. Looks like Scotty's gotten past Buster, although Buster's looking like he's gonna try and have another go at it. Scotty may have got a warning there for running out onto that curb, but Buster's going to have to oh, something's happened. Strike Force has decided for an early pit. Iceman's picked up a penalty for 3 seconds for multiple warnings, so alright, we'll run back to the front here. So the Rock's there holding on to the back of Kavudi. Leo's holding on to the back of Tinselman as well. He's been hanging on to his ERS. Tinselman's been using a bit more of his, so I imagine that Leo will get the overtake done on this lap down through the DRS zone on the back straight here. DRS open wide. This is going to be a fairly easy overtake for Leo. He's gone a bit deep on the brakes there, and Tinselman's looking at having another crack back at him, but it's decided to hold off for the DRS zone. Make sure he's crossing the line for the DRS detection before Leo does, so that he could then get the DRS down the main straight. But looks like that hasn't panned out. Leo just looks rapid on these medium tyres, and looks like we've lost Iceman as well. He's binned it in the pit entry, maybe? That's what it looked like. It looked like he binned it in the pit entry. Not sure what happened there. It'll be an interesting one to read the Discord later and see what happened to Iceman there. So it looks like Tinselman's just going to drop off the back of Leo now. I imagine that we'll see the likes of Tinselman and looks like Plevs and Scotty may have already pitted. Yep, they've gone in and they're on their medium tyres now. So the Rock's still chasing down Kavudi. Well, there's a late defensive move there from Kavudi, but it's forced him to go deep into the corner, and the Rock's got the inside line going through the corner there. I imagine the Rock will just hold back. Oh no, they've both decided to pit. So this will be a battle of the pit stops, but I imagine they'll hold their positions. Tinselman's still got DRS on Leo. So these two will continue to keep battling. So Rock and Kavudi come out the pits together. Same positions they were as they went in, so they'll continue to battle for those spots, 4th and 5th. Somebody's coming out of the pits there. What's happened? Buster's DNF'd. What on earth happened to Buster? DNF'd on the exit of the pits, did he? Yeah, not sure what's happened there to Buster, but it's clearly not gone very well. And so Leo's now pulled out a 1.5 second gap. So it looks like Tinselman's just going to have to hold on to his position there. So we're just right on board with Plevs and Scotty at the moment. That seems to be the closest battle we've got now on track. And Chronic Saint, obviously. So Plevs has got the DRS on Scotty. Scotty's got the DRS on Chronic. Chronic's got no ERS to fight this, so I imagine we'll probably lose the position to Scotty coming down the main straight. So a bit of weaving. Scotty's going to get that position. Oh, Plevs is going to... Wow, that was a bold move there from Plevs, taking the position. So Chronic Saints lost 2 spots there in one corner, unfortunately. So now it'll be interesting to see Plevs and Scotty battle out for P5. So Tinselman come in for... Oops, wrong option. Yep, so Tinselman has come in for his tyre change. So looking at the position gains, Leo's gained 12 places. It's no great surprise. Kavudi, although it's saying he hasn't moved, has gained a position, which is very weird. The Rock has gained 4, Tinselman's gained 6, Scotty's gained 7, and Plebs has gained 5. So it'll be interesting to see how this particular battle goes on and whether they can catch Tinselman. So no penalties at this stage. So Plebs is fighting Scotty hard. And Kafudi's just set the fastest lap at 1:34.068. We've got a safety car. Looks like Strike Force has binned it. We might get to see what's going on there with Leo. If Leo goes around, we might be able to see what's happened. And there he is. He's looks like he's lost it coming through that section of the track there. It's very easy to do. Like I said, I've done it myself and ended up putting it into the wall on that particular section of track. It is very, very easy to do. So after saying at the start that, you know, safety car is probably unlikely, we've had a virtual safety car and full safety car now. So this will nullify the race a little bit. We might see 6 laps to go, whether anybody decides to dive into the pits and make the switch back to the soft tyres. Snickers Bud and Goodwill seem to have just changed tyres, so whether they were oops, if Goodwill's had a bit of a spin. Oh no, it's the safety car I'm looking at there. It's alright. So looks like Leo's decided to gamble. He's got a 20-second gap to Kavudi, so it's probably worth the gamble. Come in and chuck on some soft tyres, go back out, and it's going to win this quite easily. So nobody else has gambled. They've all decided to stay on the medium tyres. Is anybody else? No, Plebs and Scotty are coming in. So Plebs and Scotty have decided to pit. Chronic Saints decided to pit. I mean, it's a very cheap pit stop under the safety car, and they'll catch back up to the pack. They'll be on the much faster tyres. Might get four laps of racing going. So it looks like Kavudi ended up actually getting ahead of Leo there under the pit, but that's okay. I have no doubt Leo with the faster tyre will take that position back relatively quickly. So it'll be interesting to see now how the likes of Scotty and Plebs do, being on the softer tyre. Snickers Bud ahead of them, obviously on the softer tyre, 1 lap older. But I imagine Tinselman and The Rock and Kavudi will probably all lose out. Not sure why they wouldn't have made the choice to go in for the softs. The softs are going to be the much faster tyre on the lower fuel load at the end of this race. Once we get back racing, when the safety car finishes. So I guess we'll see what happens. Certainly make it an exciting end to the race. Wasn't I guess there was only really one battle out on the track that was of any note to really talk about, which was Plebs and Scotty. So it'll be interesting to see them now try and carve their way through the pack to finish on the podium again. So we'll see how long the safety car stays out. We'll probably just do one more tour of the lap under the safety car here. I can't imagine it'll stay out much longer. Looks like Goodwill's going to get a chance to catch the back of the pack before we get back racing, so that's good news for Goodwill. Not good news for all the guys who have DNF'd so far in this race. So we've lost 4 out of the 13 starters, so we're down to 9. Honest Crook, who we saw put it into the wall out of the final turn. Didn't see what happened to Iceman. Buster seemed to bin it coming out of the pits, so not sure what happened there. Might just check in while we're on the safety car. Check in with so nobody's put anything into the Discord to say what happened, other than Honest Crook, who wasn't expecting somebody putting the brakes on as early as they did. So safety car is coming in on this lap, so we will get racing very shortly. So we'll get 4 laps. The pack's going to be bunched up nice and tight. Kavudi will make the decision on when we go racing. So it'll be interesting to see how far through the final sector he decides to back up the pack. The lights are out on the safety car now. So the safety car will enter the pits. Kavudi will back up the pack and decides to go straight away. That may not have been the wisest decision, but it does seem to have caught Leo a bit short. So the Rock's in there. He's gotten past Tinselman, I think. Plebs is ahead of Snickers Bud. Scotty's stuck in behind Snickers Bud at the moment. The Chronic Saint's right on Scotty's tail. So Leo's right on the tail of Kavudi here. Like I said, on the much faster soft tyre, Kavudi's going to be a sitting duck here very shortly. I suspect even on the short straight coming up will probably be enough for Leo to take it. Ooh, if he doesn't try an ambitious move a little bit early. But I would say coming through here, I'd imagine Leo will probably get enough power to be able to... Well, he's decided to hold off, wait until we get down the back straight. He'll definitely have enough pace to get past him down the back straight. So it looks like Scotty's gotten ahead of Snickers Bud. Chronic Saint's stuck behind. He's going to try and get the overtake done. No DRS obviously yet. We may not get DRS until the final lap. Chronic Saint's going to try and outbrake around the outside. And takes the position quite easily there. Alright, riding back on board with Leo, coming down the main straight. That's pretty close, but he's not going to get the overtake done, I don't think, at this point. Plebs in behind Tinselman. Scotty's now going to come back into that conversation. Obviously Tinselman's also looking to get past Rock. So it does throw a few things up when you get a safety car late into the race. You know, positions are up for grabs. So it'll be interesting to see. Plebs is right on the back of Tinselman. I don't think Tinselman's going to be able to fight this for much longer on the older medium tyres. We might see Leo get the overtake done on Kavudi this time round. We'll have a look. Potentially Plebs will get the overtake done on Tinselman. So is Leo going to get the overtake done? He's going to go. No, he's just holding on to it. Similarly, Plebs just holding on to Tinselman. So Leo's Rock's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That's going to be a bit frustrating. Okay, so DRS enabled. So we're going to get 2 laps of DRS. So we should see some overtakes happening here. Kavuti's doing a pretty good job defensively here, but like I said, on the older medium tyres with DRS enabled, I can't see him fighting this position. It looks like Leo's going to try and get the move done. Plevs is getting the move done on Tinselman as well. So that's two overtakes done easily. Scotty's now, I guess, going to have the opportunity to take Tinselman in the DRS zone. You know, on the faster soft tyres with DRS, plenty of ERS. This should be, even though Tinselman's got DRS on Plebs, I imagine Scotty will probably get this done anyway. So Leo's already pulled out a second over Kavuti. Maybe Scotty won't get the overtake done. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one, see how this one pans out. Plebs is about to overtake the Rock. I don't know if the Rock made a mistake there or what happened. But Plebs is now up onto the podium. Assuming he can hold off the Rock. So Rock's going to make a move around the outside. It's ambitious on those worn medium tyres. He's going to hold the position though, going through the turn 4. Is he going to hold on to it? Scotty and Tinselman are battling out there. It looks like Scotty's going to get the overtake done. He's going to have to hang it around the outside, around the curb. Is he going to hang it around the outside? Oh no! Looks like the Rock's had a spin. Is he taking any damage there? No, it doesn't look like any significant damage. Maybe minor damage. Tinselman and Scotty are still battling out, and Chronic Saint's now in this conversation as well. He's looking to get up the inside of Scotty going into the turn. He's still there. They're still side by side. They're still battling. Scotty's got the inside line, so should have the advantage going through the corner. And manages to hold on to the position. But has DRS. I thought he might have dropped out of it, but he's got DRS on Tinselman. He's just going to hold fire, but looks like Chronic's going to have another crack up the inside of Scotty. And Leo's just set a fastest lap, 1:33.4. Final lap. So unlucky, Scotty couldn't get Tinselman at the end. Kavuti managed to hold on to second, so that was a great performance from Kavuti. You're having, I guess, finished where they started in a situation of being on the much older medium tyres, but I guess it worked out alright for Kavuti because the cars behind him were battling so hard. So I guess it's, again, no surprise, Leo's on the top step of the podium. It's Kavuti in second, and Plevs manages to finish third for the second race as well. So some really great racing there at the end. Like I said, safety car at the end of the race can really mix things up and you know, show you what's possible when the safety car happens. You know, when you can jump into the pits and make a quick tyre change and really elevate yourself up the ladder. So Leo, no surprise, fastest lap as well. Cafudi in second, Plebs in third, followed by Tinselman, Scotty, Chronic Saint, Snickers Bard, Goodwill, The Rock, Strike Force, first of the last of the retirements, then Buster, Iceman, and Honest Crook. Well, thanks everyone for joining us this week for the Sprint Cup. We look forward to seeing you all next week. Hopefully we get some quality racing next week as well. Until then, enjoy your racing.